Hello, everybody. Welcome everybody to the Lexit Get Out to the Vote show. We have our very special guest, Ana Paulina, and we have my other guest host is La Trumpista from Lexit and Mario from Lexit. But we're just very happy to have my very good friend, Ana Paulina, with us here today.
Awesome. Hi, Ana Paulina.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Great. Just right here to try to push. We're only a week away from the election. We're just very excited. Ana, but the first question I wanted to ask you, Ana, because me and you had talked about it for the longest, because me and you are good friends. We talk outside of all this stuff. And I remember you warned me, even we were talking about a long time ago, about all the big tech censorship. And it's even worse than I thought. I even thought it was going to be this worse, because now they're even censoring conservative news outlets, even the president himself. It's like, I never thought it would be like this bad as it is. It looks like if we're living in China. I just want to get your thoughts on all this big tech censorship and what would you do to help us with this?
Yeah, so I've actually been tracking it for a while. I remember I told all of you that I think we were at the White House and I said, you know, they're going to censor you on the tagging, and they sure as heck did. What I did so far is, because I'm running for Congress now, and I do realize that this is election interference. So I actually have an FEC complaint with the Elections Commission on what Twitter Corporation did by illegally donating to my opponent via not verifying us. So the thing with verifications is when you're verified, it actually changes the algorithm of your page and allows you to either fundraise more and or interact more, high visibility with your constituents. And so what's happening now is big tech corporations like Google, like Twitter, like Facebook, like Instagram, they're all protected under this Section 238, which makes them basically allowed to censor people because they don't adhere to their standards. Well, that's not right, because when media was really, written into legislation for campaigns, especially, that was written when the only forms of communication were television, print, and radio. So now we have digital media that has become the new platform of communication for our generation. So my case, according to my attorneys, will be going to the Supreme Court. And we actually filed it 1 hour before the Hunter Biden story dropped, and then Twitter was outwardly censoring people. So it was good timing. And then in addition to that, 24 hours later, the RNC actually ended up filing a similar case. So how I'm helping people is I'm going to the Supreme Court, and I want it written in legislation that they can't do that.
Exactly. Wow. See, that's why we need to get you in. And then Laura Loomer said she's going to help us. We talked to Daryl Issa. He said that he wants to help with that too, because something needs to be done. That's one thing. I think Republicans need to be a little bit more vocal on it, because this is bad. Yeah, because I hope after the election that they don't just forget about it and it just goes away. And because it needs to be something needs to be done.
Matt Gaetz said it the best. These Republicans that are taking the PAC money from big tech, they're part of the problem. So call them out.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you.
Exactly. That's what we got to start doing. But thanks. And go ahead, Becky. You could go ahead and ask your question.
So, Ana, my question is, maybe you've people have asked you this before, but I want to hear from you. What will be one of the first things that you do when you win?
So the first thing I'm probably going to do is turn my phone off for like 10 hours so I can quiet, because I've been working and I'm out at the polls every single day. Like today alone, I probably met maybe 3,000 to 4,000 people. So I'm exhausted. But in addition to legislation that I'll be sponsoring, we have a really big issue right now with the Veterans Affairs, and what they're doing for veterans as a whole is just, it's not good. They're having issues with the VA disability rating process. So I want to sponsor legislation to really fix that. I have a lot of Vietnam veterans in our district that have been exposed to Agent Orange, which is manufactured by Monsanto and causes cancer. And these guys are basically dying, and they're not getting help from the federal government that essentially voted to send them to war, but can't vote to take care of them after the fact. So that's not acceptable. But also, too, I would like to help President Trump in regards to his outreach. I think that right now there are a lot of people, especially within the Hispanic demographic, that are waking up. But unfortunately, in D.C., you get these organizations that promise to do the outreach and they don't. So I'm going to help POTUS with that.
Yes, definitely. You are going to be, you have been already, but you're going to be the voice of so many Hispanics. And I thank you for that. And I'm pretty sure that the ultimate that is here, and we have your back.
Thank you.
Mario.
Awesome. So, Ana, your fight in your voice for human trafficking is impressive. So my question is kind of twofold. Number one, when was that moment, if you recall, when you realized how big of a problem this is? And if elected, what are you going to do to really combat that? What in your area? How are you going to roll your sleeves up and fight against it?
January 2016 was when I had my aha moment. I was sitting in a hotel room, and I think, like many Americans prior to the 2016 election, I just thought that the news reported the news and it wasn't, propaganda. Now we all know that's not a lot, or not, the facts, and that the news is propaganda. But I remember seeing a story talking about this train that had been stopped in Mexico City by the federal police. And I remember hearing the commentator say, oh, yeah, this candidate Trump person is terrible for, telling these people that they can't have access into this country. They're at this time using the words refugees, right? Well, the U.S. has a great refugee program, and they also have a great program for if you're seeking political asylum, but you have to do it legally. You can't just hop the border and then claim it. And then there's a whole issue with catch and release. So at the time, I wasn't political. I was working with the counter trafficking organization just to use my social media to shed light on this issue that I realized was a huge problem. And then I saw this article and realized that they didn't care about these kids that were on this train with these random women. And then they mentioned that there was cartel on this train. Well, you never have cartel and then like hundreds of women and children. That just doesn't even sound right. So I started paying attention, and literally.
We lost you there, Anna.
You broke off a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
There you go.
Where did I cut off at?
You said you started
the
a little problem
together. Doesn't make sense.
Oh, yeah. So it doesn't even make sense. And so I started paying attention, and I realized that this commentator was saying that, here at CNN, we believe that everyone deserves fair access to this country. And we believe, people deserve, especially refugees, access to here. So they put together money. They sent a film crew down to the border, filming Border Patrol turning away these women and children, not even talking about the fact that, for one, why was there cartel on it? And then also, two, it's not like these kids come here with these women and children that they show up. They're like, okay, we're here, like, feed us, give us a job. That's not how it works. And so I saw this and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is literally propaganda. And then I realized, and I was like kind of looking at the space, and I was like, I don't really see any like prominent Hispanic voices speaking up. And I was like, I know I'm half, but like obviously I'm not racist. My family came here from Mexico and like they did it the right way. But like you have to understand that you have to do it the correct way or people get hurt in the process. And these women and children are part of that process. And what happens when you don't do it the correct way is they get hurt. So I made a video. It went kind of viral. And then I was still on track to go to medical school. And then the day before I was supposed to leave, I got contacted from an organization to go work with them. And the reason why I chose to stay is because one of my mentors was a doctor. And he goes, Anna, you can always go back to medical school, but you can't always help stop and, change through legislation what you're seeing. So I knew at that point in time I'd be running. And I think it's important because, what the stats say, and we talk in facts here, especially as conservatives or as Republicans, the most targeted demographic are Hispanic women and children. And so why are we not speaking about this? You can't say that you want to help the family and help the people out when you're there turning a blind.
Yeah,
definitely.
Exactly.
We lost you again, Anna.
And you're not educated.
What was the next question that you wanted? Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Anna, I think we're losing you a little bit there. Are you clear?
Yeah, I'm clear. Sorry, people keep calling me and I keep declining their calls.
Okay.
That happened to me before.
I just have one more question for you. So what would you say to Latinos or Hispanics that are still sitting right in the middle as far as the presidential vote is concerned? And what do you think they should be considering right now this late in the game?
This election is not about Democrat or Republican. It's not about liberal or conservative. This is about, do you want socialism or not? And you have someone who maybe you don't like how he talks on Twitter. Maybe you don't like what he says to people's faces, but he's honest and he's at least not pushing socialism. Or you can vote for someone that's literally bought and controlled by China that wants socialism and made a deal with Bernie Sanders. And so I tell people, vote based on policy, not based on whether or not you like someone. And if you really do care about the fact that you're Hispanic and you take pride in that, then take pride in the fact that that with President Trump, he's going to be fighting human trafficking. And no other president has done that. And the most impacted demographic is Hispanic Americans. And the only reason why they changed their opinions in 2016 is because they realized in 2020, the largest voting minority in this country is Hispanic Americans, specifically those of Mexican American descent. And that's from pewhispanic.org.
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. It was good to talk to you again soon.
All right.
All right, Anna. Everybody get out and vote for Anna. Anna, she has to push this right there. You know, Florida's important. Vote for Trump and vote red all across the line. Vote. We got to get these Democrats out, right, Anna?
You're right. Thank you.
See you guys.
Thank you so much to Anna for her time, because we know she's very busy and she's doing a lot right now. We are 7 days away for the elections. So let's vote red. Let's continue to be vocal the most we can. And I don't know if the guys have any last.
Yeah, well, I just want to talk to you guys about, well, today's a big day. Hopefully, Amy Barrett gets confirmed, guys. So that's going to be a big thoughts, because she's going to get confirmed today. So, you know, their heads are going to be exploding. That just shows why it was so important, because that's the main reason I vote, is for the Supreme Court picks. That's huge right there. And Trump, look at his great picks. Imagine he put 3 solid picks in there, man. That alone, we need to get Trump, because he's probably going to get at least one or two more the next 4 years. So what do you guys think about Amy Barrett getting confirmed today?
Well, I think of, you know, what the word of God says, that a wise man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. And that inheritance doesn't always have to be money. It could be an inheritance of freedom, of liberties, of rights. And this is a way that, you know, these 3 people can literally touch the next 30, 40 years down the road of leaving an inheritance that the founding fathers laid for us to protect that and protect the Constitution. So it's absolutely huge. And I think it was just a God thing that he was the person in this place at this time.
Definitely. I'm so happy, and not because she's a woman, but because she's a woman of God, and she's a very strong woman. She knows the roles of the man in the household, and that's very important to me. And she knows the limits, and she knows the Constitution of the United States of America. So as long as she have all those qualifications, I'm good.
Well, you know what? I was kind of actually surprised that the left wasn't. I guess because they're so close to the election, they were trying to act like not so nuts or whatever. Because look at how they did on Kavanaugh and all. They were nuts, and I thought, imagine when they lose Ruth Bader Ginsburg, because that was their top one. So I figured that all hell would be breaking loose, but I guess we got blessed that it happened. And you know what? As a trip though, I talked to A-Rod, right? And I told him, look, imagine if she would have died like a week later. See how God's timing is always perfect, because if she would have died even a week later, Trump wouldn't have been able to get her in time. So at the nick of time, it happened where Trump was able to fill that seat a week and 7 days. You know, that's the Lord's number. You know what I mean? But it was just a trip, how God's timing, how it worked out. It was like a total blessing. Like, I don't wish death on nobody. Like, I'm not that she died or nothing like that. I'm just saying there was God's timing where Trump got to fill that important old seat. It was a righteous blessing to all of us.
Definitely. And this is like a new chapter for this country. These elections have been, I believe, the most important elections in a long time. And they are going to mark our lives forever. And these new laws and regulations are going to define the new America.
Yeah.
It was like, too, like Anna was saying, guys, like, it's not even about Republican versus Democrat no more. It's about good versus, it's not even about Trump. It's not about none of that stuff no more. Look at these. You guys want lawlessness. You guys want socialism. You know what I mean? You want them taking your guns away. Just in all ways that the Democrats, like I always say, I didn't leave the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party left me. They're just so far to the left. We got to, everybody make sure to vote. Get out there and not only just vote, make sure you tell your Theo, everybody get out there and vote against these Democrats. You know, it's even a trip. Like another rapper I was seeing, I don't even really know his name because I'm not, came out and supported. So imagine that.
Little pumps.
Yeah.
All of us right here, all these Latinos right here, even we were just in DC, all you guys, thousands of blacks and Latinos were there. Look at 50 Cent, Ice Cube. He didn't endorse Trump a lot, but he is working with Trump. So even his eyes are starting to open up. And then now this other new rapper came out. And another rapper the other day, I forgot his name was Wacko something, whatever. Another rapper. So that's even another one. So like 4 rappers.
Yeah.
Have you seen that before where so many minorities are going for a Republican, especially for Trump. That's like so crazy.
We are waking up. The other day I went to change my phone and everybody, all of the guys were black and brown, and we were talking about it because I had like my MAGA drop shirt, and they were like, "You're a Trump supporter?" And I'm like, "Yes, I am." And they were like, "Why are you voting for him?" I'm like, "Because I had to be careful. I wanted them to serve me right." I'm like, all I want is a candidate that's gonna be for us, the minorities. And I don't care if he's Republican or Democrat. What are they giving us? The president did a revolution, okay? And he reformed the party. He reformed the party. This is the Republican Party now, because Trump made it better again and great again, just like he's been doing this country better again.
Exactly.
So,
What you think, Mario?
Yeah, I just think one thing that I would say to everybody right now is sprint through the finish line, guys. Right now is not the time to stop. Right now is to turn it up, because there's a lot of people out there right now that are undecided. And it's those people that are just going to be like, you know what? I'm not going to go. I'm not going to vote, right? Every single vote counts. As fun as it is to wake people up and to flip them from the other side, right now, at least for me personally, I'm not in the mood to be arguing with people who don't want to know the truth, right? It's those people that are still undecided, the people out there who are like, I like this, I like that. Sit down with them, take them to coffee, right? There's so much that you can find online through all the influencers and all the people in Lexit that put together good work that is fact-based, right? That comes with original sources to help people to understand, because right now it's about that middle. We have to bring as many people to the light that are in the middle as possible, because every single vote definitely does count. So get out there, talk to your friends that are undecided, and just sprint through the finish line, guys.
Definitely. Anything else, Jesse, you want to add?
We just that's what we gotta do, is keep pushing, man. We gotta vote red. Everybody, like, don't just, like, I know everybody's focused on Trump and all that, which is rightly so. That's good, but we have to vote Democrats out all across. Because before I used to do that, bro, I used to just vote. I didn't even know and all that. I would just be pushing all the Democrats or all the Latinos or whatever. We can't do that no more. We can't do that, people, so don't do that unless you're voting against the Democrat. Whoever's a Democrat, vote for the other guy. You know what I mean? Even if it's an independent or whatever, because they're bad. Even I always say, for me, as my faith, as a Christian, I could no longer support that party. So just everybody, let's get out there, make sure you vote for all the candidates, all the Republicans. That's what you got to do. But thank you guys all for watching us.
Definitely. And one last thing, we need to vote for our values. We cannot be voting for who looks like me, because for what I know, Biden doesn't look like me physically speaking. Trump either, but Trump goes accordingly with my values. Everything, like Jesse said, as a Christian, we have to be careful, because we have a party that is for abortion, for gay marriage, for a lot of things, and for taking away our rights, like our guns and stuff. Like, I don't need that. And as a Christian, I cannot go with that.
Exactly. And then, dude, like, look at, like I was telling somebody at my church the other day, like, you're a perfect example. You just started your new business up and all of that. And look at the Democrats. They want the country to be shut down. Here, what Biden was saying, like, we have to eat behind plexiglass, and just, they want us all to be locked down and all that, even the churches. Church, but yet BLM and them could be out there, Antifa out there destroying cities and all that. And like you, Becky, you just started your own little business up, and yet, she lost it because of these lockdowns, and yet Nancy Pelosi's in there getting her hair done.
Yep, that's true. That's true. And like, it's crazy, because all these churches are closed, or you have to keep a lower, like a 25% of capacity when you have 400 seats, but you can only bring 50. Okay. And it's like, a lot of people I've seen, it's so sad, because I see a lot of the youth in my church that they don't longer go to church, and they change completely. You can see the product, and they see, like, I'm sorry, but I'm out of church. And it's sad, because a lot of people were not strong enough in their faith, and those are the people that are now lost again because of the coronavirus. because of these lockdowns. It's sad. So thank you guys so much for watching us.
Exactly.
Thank you for supporting us. In 30 minutes, we will have Almaga Vivo, which is a show completely in Spanish. Support us as well. And this week, guys, Lexit is bringing you a series of special shows every day. Tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're on a roll this week because we have only 7 days until election day, okay? So like Mario said, continue to educate others, listen to others, create opportunities, and see you next time.
Well, and also wait, me and Mara just want to give a special shout out. So this is for Patty. Go Dodgers.
Patty, Sister Rita.
Go Dodgers.
That's hey, make sure you set Lexit for your notifications so they pop up first. I think you can even check it out so that whatever we post comes up first as well, so that you never miss anything, and always share it out, guys.
Take care,
Thank
guys.
you, guys. Have a blessed week. All right.